Right, I want to do a video about the full moon because one of the things that people often say when I have clients over for treatments or just talking about it with friends is that when there's a full moon, they can't sleep. So it's often like, God, I had a really bad night's sleep. I just felt restless. My mind was racing. And then I realized, a day after, a couple of days afterwards, it was a full moon. And I think perhaps understanding why this can be the case, why often we can feel a little bit more restless, a little bit more, um, perhaps the word agitated around a full moon. Once we understand that, it almost helps us to make the most of these times. We don't feel so like frustrated that we can't sleep and worried about, the day ahead. So if we just rein back and think about what is a full moon all about, it's the peak of the lunar cycle. The lunar cycle starts with the new moon, and then 2 weeks later, the moon's built and grown to the point of the full moon. So, this is very much when the moon's at its biggest. It's big, it's round, it's juicy, and it's shining loads of lunar light all over Earth. And so I think it's very magical, isn't it? When we look out the sky and we can see this big moon in it, it kind of makes us really look again. We'll often, if we see a full moon, we'll often remark on it. It's not something that we almost take for granted. And what happens when there's a full moon is that the atmosphere is flooded with positive ions. And positive ions actually affect us in a way that they kind of thicken the blood. So, in many ways, we haven't got that ease, we haven't got that fluidity, that flexibility that we have at other times of the moon cycle. It is a case where we're kind of like more aware and we can feel a little bit more heightened in our emotions. So, if we've achieved something, so say we set a new moon intention, we work really hard on it for the 2 weeks and we really feel we're going the same track, the new moon can feel like a real time of celebration. We feel really excited. Our ancestors before the electricity age would very much use a new moon to gather. They'd meet in the woods because there would be lots of light. They could actually see what they're doing. And I remember when I used to live in India, I was really aware that when there was a full moon, I could do a lot more in the evenings, and there felt like more sort of, I want to say more electricity, but obviously I don't mean that. There was more of a kind of energy about. People were more alive. People were more sort of almost like crackling with energy. So there is a natural time where we're going to feel a little bit more sociable. It's also a time where we can feel a little bit more intolerant. So if we're not kind of where we want to be in our lives, if there are frustrations, if there are areas of our lives that we're not addressing or looking at, or perhaps in many ways, and we've got a blind spot to, there's nothing like a full moon to shine a light on these areas. So that's why there's often higher cases of road rage during a full moon. That's why anytime there are groups of people together, that there might be more of a kind of outpouring of emotions, whether that's positive or negative. So it's just a case to realise when you're going to sleep and you see it's a full moon, it doesn't mean that you're cursed. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get any sleep. It's just a case that you're going to feel your body's feeling a little bit more excited. So it is a case when you don't necessarily need as much sleep as perhaps you would do. It's not like the time just for a new moon, which is really fantastic for getting early night. It's about going, where do I want to channel all this energy? So if you want to meet up with friends, this is a fantastic time. This is a fantastic time, perhaps get a little bit of a later night. But if you're noticing that you're feeling a little bit more wired, especially in the middle of the night, maybe would be a great time to do some writing, to really listen to what you want. What is it that's kind of like racing around your body? What thoughts? Get them out on paper. Another fantastic thing is to ground yourself. So if you put your feet in cold water, so it's like running a bath, just with some cold water and putting your feet in it. You don't have to put your whole body in it. It's not the most pleasant thing. But what it does is it takes all the energy from the head, all that kind of like, heat, thoughts, and actually immediately grounds it. So suddenly all the attention is taken away from the head and it's put into the body, and the body's going to be really focused on trying to warm up your feet again. So actually you'll notice that the mind will stop racing. So yeah, it's not to say this is a bad time. This is a really exciting time, and don't worry, you'll definitely catch up on sleep later on in the cycle. Just know that the full moon is a really special time, and really make the most of this fantastic full moon energy.